Over the past couple of years, we've seen so much video game censorship, it's mind-boggling, and there are so many people out there who don't really understand why companies are doing what they do, why they're toning down so many female characters, why they're afraid of femininity. And now we're finding out that in the Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny remaster, they're censoring outfits. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I completely understand that somebody might view one single costume change as not that big of a deal, and hey, you are allowed to, but people are also allowed to heavily criticize the companies that are doing it, especially ones like Capcom who have done this time and time again, who are not listening to their customers and who don't care that we are upset with some of the decisions that they're making, especially when it comes to a remaster. With remasters, you need to keep the content as accurate as possible. You need to adapt it in a way that is faithful. And when you're changing outfits and you're adding these awkward pieces of black fabric, people aren't going to like that. It's like with Final Fantasy VII Remake. They decided to add this like black band around Tifa's sports bra. It looked very bizarre. I didn't like it. Many other people didn't like it. And they were heavily criticized for that decision. Did they care? Not really, but that doesn't make it okay. So, this is a Go Nintendo article. They're actually getting wrecked right now over on X because of it. They said fans spot an unexplained wardrobe change in Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny Remaster. The word they're looking for is censorship. It's not an unexplained wardrobe change. It is plain and simply the developers deciding that they needed to tone down their work. It is unfortunate that the articles that are going to go up about this, the few that do, because of course Access Media isn't going to talk about this because they don't actually care about this industry. The few articles that are going to go up are ones like this where they don't want to condemn Capcom in their decision, but at the same time, they still need to talk about it. So it says Capcom is bringing Samurai's Destiny Remaster to the Switch on May 23rd, 2025, a game that a lot of people have actually been pretty excited for. We've gotten to see some new gameplay footage and trailers for the game leading up to launch, and change in particular has been pointed out by eagle-eyed fans. It's really not something you need to put a lot of effort into finding. As you can see, on the left is the original 2002 edition, and on the right is the 2025 edition. It says, as you can see in the comparison above, one of the game's characters, her name's Oyu, has seen a slight wardrobe change with this remaster. The original outfit from 2002 was a bit more risque, while the 2025 version has subdued things somewhat by adding a sheer top. First of all, that's not sheer. It is a literal hunk of black fabric. This is so dumb for so many reasons. This is not a game for children. This is not a game for younger people. It is a game for adults. So you would think, because of that, first off, that they would allow things like cleavage to be shown. And second of all, they didn't even put any sort of effort into this. It's like with the Tifa top, why didn't they make it lace or actually make it look like it was a part of her outfit? Even though it's still censorship, they could have put a little bit of effort into at least making it look okay. And here, I mean, it's just completely covering up her chest, which is absurd. And an M for mature game. Oh, you can go around and kill people. You can decapitate people, you can destroy things. Oh, but you can't actually see a woman's figure, and it's not like she's nude here. This is such a dumb decision, and unfortunately, Capcom has been doing things like this for years. I mean, I've talked about them so many times on this channel, all of their poor decisions, and it's unfortunate, right? Because they have a lot of games that people love. They've put out a lot of good content in the past. But we're talking about problem after problem after problem. Capcom had censored sexy women and quote-unquote harmful stereotypes in the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. We know that they have faced a lot of backlash by adding things like DRM to their back catalog to stop what they deem as offensive mods, which of course they're talking about mods that sexualize their characters. Can't have that. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. We know that we had seen huge leaks a couple of years ago talking about how they were going in a more politically correct direction, which we're definitely seeing now. We, of course, have seen them double down on the Dead Rising censorship. The erotica photo mode was removed, and there was altered dialogue and race swaps because they didn't want to offend anybody. They wanted to avoid racial stereotypes. And I mean, the list goes on and on here. Jill's classic costume was toned down by Capcom in Resident Evil 3's remake. So I'm not going to talk about all of the instances of Capcom being really crappy, but if you are aware of the way that they've acted, this is really not going to be a massive surprise to you. And gamers are furious over this, and of course, rightfully so. On the Go Nintendo tweet thread, everybody is saying, yeah, this is censorship. I mean, I personally had put up a post as well, very simply saying censorship. That's the word you're looking for. And it's got over 1,000 likes because they don't want to trash Capcom. They don't want to criticize a company. This is the problem with access media, is they are afraid of losing their access. So what do? They turn around and defend them tooth and nail, and they don't want to use specific terms. Self-censorship is a thing. It's like they don't understand that. And of course, when you bring up the word censorship, there are people saying, oh my gosh, it's really not that serious. It's only 1 or 2 outfits, and it's okay if you still want to purchase this and you still want to support it and you're still excited for it. I hope that you have a great time with it. I hope that you have fun with it. But ultimately, my argument is, if it is not that important, why did they change it? Because they had to have a developer working on this, putting a couple of hours into altering it. Never mind if there's other things that are censored within this game. So if it's not that serious, why change it in the first place? This is supposed to be a remaster, not a complete reimagining and overhaul. So they really shouldn't have done this in the first place. Scrolling down, looking at some of the comments by you guys on my thread. Also, make sure to follow me over on X. You can comment. Maybe your comments will get read in a video. Ironically, some of the same people who champion video game preservation will have no problem with this rewriting history for the sake of placating a vocal online minority or this imagined modern audience is so silly. I completely agree. Yeah, this game is effed. People are also trying to say, like, when did you first realize you didn't know why censorship was? They mean what censorship was. Clearly they don't know what censorship is, because developers and artists and just creatives in general can censor their own work. That is a thing. I can understand if you want newer characters like this, but why censor what we got before? These aren't remasters, they are demasters that are attempting to rewrite history. This is so dumb, this is so stupid. People are also saying things like censorship is always bigotry, using different terms make things worse, saying the change has no effect on the gameplay is the problem because it ends up wasting resources. What affects the gameplay should be a good thing, as video games are meant to be played. Capcom hasn't learned to preserve its video game remasters as is, uncensored with only a few minor changes. It's time for modders to do their part. And obviously, I'm a big supporter of modders. At this point, there are so many games that would be really toned down and severely lacking that modders have fixed. Now, the problem with modding is that platforms like Nexus Mods love to ban certain mods, and of course, Capcom has gone after modders time and time again because they do not support them and do not like them, even though modders are clearly big fans of your games, or else they wouldn't be putting the time and effort into actually modding the game. Regardless, though, there are alternative sites like Based Mods and DEG Mods. Those will be linked down below in case you're interested. I would highly recommend checking out their sites and their social media so you can follow them and stay up to date with mods that are put on their platforms. But if you are a fan of Onimusha, you should know that if you purchase this remaster, there is censorship. There are outfits that are toned down, outfits that are changed, and this is just one of the images we have. Never mind what else is in the title. I'll definitely be keeping my eye on it. This is a very unfortunate update because I personally was really excited for it, but only time will tell if fans actually decide to not support this game or if it sells well. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.